That's how it's done. Yeah, technicality. Wait, what is...
Welcome back. I'm doing more VFX. A few weeks ago, Doormonster released a pool video on the main channel. Most notable was the trick shot that Allison made, where she knocked all of the balls into all of the holes in one shot. I saw one comment speculating that we had built an actual table with a raised part in the middle so that all the balls would fall just kind of naturally, and that wasn't too far off. This was actually an older video, and when we first shot it, I did not have the ability to do any sort of CGI or physics simulations, so we were gonna try and do this like stop motion thing where we just got a bunch of still frames, and I was just gonna do like a bad motion blur, and it would have worked, like, for the joke. This was actually shot in a bar. The pool table was real. I ended up replacing all of the balls, and it was my first time trying an actual, like, rigid body simulation where all the balls are, like, bouncing off of each other and off of the table. So this is the Blender project. The table is set up to work as a collision object for all of the balls to bounce off of, but otherwise is invisible. I don't render that part. I just set it up so that it kind of matched the actual table, and then set all of the balls up as physics objects, and they all get hit by the cue ball and roll around. Pretty simple. The digital table is actually raised in the middle, exactly the way that you would do it in real life. It's almost imperceptible. The only reason you know is that you can see the parts that are raised because of the lines on the actual mesh. It's subtle enough that the shadows aren't thrown off. Even so, you still just have to try it a bunch, because it's still just a physics simulation. So I probably ran this like 300 times. There were a lot of little micro tweaks before I finally arrived at this result. And they do a few weird things. These balls kind of go this way and then turn and go back into the hole. But I kind of like it because it does look the way you would do it in real life. Like if you were trying to set this up as a trick shot completely practically, the easiest way to do it would be to alter a physical table. And that's basically just what I did. I just did it on my computer instead. The only other thing is that I needed the cue ball to then like roll toward a particular pocket afterwards. And it was hard enough getting all the other balls to go in and then specifically track the cue ball. I have a separate simulation where I just tweaked the cue ball over and over again to make sure it went the direction that I wanted it to. So it's actually a separate composite, even in the final shot. But in the chaos, you don't really notice. And then I specifically rendered these out so that it doesn't cross the path of any of the other balls and just kind of wanders its way over to that hole. And that's pretty much it. There's the answer to the question. Video over. Bye. Haha, not really, because there's another VFX shot in this video that nobody noticed. I realized while editing that we were missing a close-up shot of the cue ball going into the pocket. The easy way to fix that is you just go to another bar, find their pool table, and get a close-up of the ball going into the pocket, and then you're done. So I generated the entire thing from scratch in Blender. This whole shot is not real. It is all a 3D model, completely from scratch. This would have worked totally fine as a pickup shot from a different location, but I basically just did this to show off because I could. But I managed to get all the little details in here, like every little bit of texture on this metal, on the plastic. I got the logo of the actual brand of table we were using. I used reference photos to make sure this looked and was colored the same as the actual table. Even the ball is not just a white ball, because I went in and added like all of the little smudges from where it had been hit before, and there's like differences in how shiny it is, and I think there's even some fingerprints on there somewhere, but nobody noticed, which means I win. Highly recommend just doing like a weird close-up if you're into Blender and you're wanting to practice. I have a Patreon that's separate and that like 6 people are donating to. The link is in this description on this channel. I don't know if I'm gonna maintain that one or if I'm gonna like just recombine it with the Doormonster one. We're still kind of working that stuff out, but if you're interested in downloading any of these files, go check that out. I already have a bunch of other stuff that I've uploaded from past videos and projects. And if you have any suggestions on effects that you'd like to see breakdowns of, let me know. I'm gonna try to do one once a week. I've made it to week 2. This Friday will be community comments. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!